My name's Amun. I'm recently 22 years old. I go to Emerson and I do writing, and we're in the park on a Sunday.
All right, and why are we in the park? What do you like to do in the park?
I like to sit down for hours at a time and feed the wildlife that the rangers don't yell at you for feeding, which is the squirrels. I like to do that a lot.
Do the rangers yell at you for feeding other things?
Yes, I've tried feeding the ducks multiple times, and the rangers have always yelled at me and told me to stop.
There's a squirrel getting into here.
But they don't give a rat. Do you want to come on the camera? Okay. What? I can't eat. It would suck because these almonds are really good. I can't eat out of this bag ever again. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, next question. I would take a lot of walks in the park, and you can just kind of beckon them over by making like noises at them because they're used to people. So I was like, I can call them over, and then I realized like, could I get them to sit with me? So I started buying like peanuts from CVS, and it just became a thing that I like doing. You know, people either are repulsed by it or think it's really funny. There's not really much of an in-between. Well, I think this one woman, her whole thing was like, you shouldn't be doing that because it makes like the squirrels like less afraid of being around people. And I want to be like, ma'am, they're not afraid of people already. And it was really funny because one actually came up to her because I still had the nuts, right? And she acted like she was really freaked out by it, which I don't think she was. I think she was putting on a performance. So there was that. But then there's the inverse of that where like you have like families who walk by and the kids get really into it and the parents are like, ask the man nicely if you can have some of his peanuts, and like, you know, sometimes kids like to like get a handful of peanuts and feed them too. So it's kind of fun. Squirrels are actually really mean to each other. They fight over the food a lot, which is often disheartening. Sometimes they make like noises at each other that are really scary, and that's when I usually stop feeding them, is when it turns into like a war kind of thing. If I see that there's like a smaller one and there's a bunch of fatter ones and the fatter ones are always getting the nuts first, I'm like, this is like a metaphor for like imperialism or something, man. I had a whole thing the other week about how I was kind of fucking up the squirrel economy, because like sometimes like only one squirrel wants to be around you, right? And so he ends up getting a lot of nuts that he stores for later, and that's kind of like generational wealth, right? Like that squirrel's kids aren't ever going to have to work for nuts because he's already got so many. So you kind of create this problem in the squirrel economy where there's one squirrel family that has like a shitload of nuts and its kids also get fat and don't have to work. And so like my dilemma sometimes is like, whenever I come here, like, am I upsetting something delicate that I shouldn't be, you know?
Do you think about this a lot?
Yeah. There was one night where I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was like, this is like fucked up. And it's like even more fucked up because I don't think about people like this at all. This is like this is purely a squirrel problem to me. They've scratched me. They've peed on me.
They've peed on you?
Yeah, they peed on these very pants I'm wearing. I've gotten squirrel piss on them. So it washes out real nice though. It's just kind of weird when it happens. Any detergent works. You know, those little like rub-on like stick things that you it's like a deodorant stick, but it's like laundry shit. You just rub that on there. I mean, and then pee doesn't really stain unless you're wearing white probably, but I would never wear white to feed animals unless I wanted to do like a thing where I didn't wash the clothes so it became like part of the history of the clothes. That's my opinion though. But sometimes if I want to like show off to people, I'll be like, guys, look at this trick that I can do, and then they'll either be repulsed by it or they'll think it's really funny. I've had mixed reactions from people. And if you're standing up and you beckon them, you can get them to come up to like here to get a nut. It's pretty funny. That's always the one that catches people's attention too. That's the one where you really see if somebody's look of just like pure disgust or somebody's look of like, that guy over there's figured something out. Again, there's not really any in between. There are people who try to ignore it and it doesn't work. I mean, I just really like animals a lot, and I think it's really funny thinking about being like the Snow White of like the disgusting city animals is a really funny idea to me. But it does make me happy. Sometimes, like if I'm having a bad day, I'll take a bag of nuts into the park and just see where it takes me. Sometimes it helps. I'm usually listening to music too, so I don't like hear what people are saying. I mean, people give me like unsolicited comments about like my hair and my clothes like every day, so it's like, what's a few more people talking about some weird shit that I'm doing in the park, you know what I mean?